Okay, very good morning everyone. In this video, I will try to explain how to use this TOPSIS multi-objective optimization technique for identifying optimized parameters in a welding process. So I have taken this content from a published article. So based on that, I will give the explanation for this TOPSIS multi-objective optimization technique, and I will tell the step-by-step procedure for identifying the optimized parameter combination. Okay, so we'll see. So in that paper, the authors have selected a MIG welding process, and they have tried to do dissimilar joint between nickel-based alloy and stainless steel, and they have considered three parameters, namely wire feed speed, pulse frequency, welding amplitude, and they have considered three levels in each input parameters. So they have conducted their experiments based on L9 Takuji array, and the L9 Takuji array is shown in this slide. And they have measured 5 output parameters for in order to assess the quality of the weld. And the 5 output parameters are beat width, depth of penetration, tensile strength, impact strength, and the strain percentage. So they are analyzing the quality of the weld by measuring these output parameters. And from this L9 Takuji array, they are trying to find which one is the best combination of parameters according to their need. Okay, so this is the input and output, corresponding input and output values, and the author's main objective was to maximize the depth of penetration value, tensile strength value, impact strength, and the strain percentage, and minimize the beat width. So it is a multi-objective decision problem. So let's see how they have identified using TOPSIS now. Kindly look into the objective. The objective is to maximize 4 output parameters and at the same time minimize speed width. Okay. So basically it is a multi-criterion decision making methods. It just finds the solution by moving closer to the positive ideal solution and moving far away from the negative ideal solution. So I'm not going into detail about that. I'll explain the step-by-step procedures for the identification of optimized parameter. So first thing is we have to write the decision matrix. Then we have to identify the normalized decision matrix. Followed by that, we have to allocate weights to the output parameters. With the help of weights, we have to calculate a weighted normalized matrix. Followed by that, we have to calculate positive, ideal, and negative solutions, and separation measure and relative closeness value. Okay. So this is the decision matrix already we have written. This is the decision matrix. Second step is we have to identify the normalized values. So the formula is given here. So just divide the corresponding output parameter by summation of the square of the output parameters. I'll show you how to do that in Excel. So I have already copied the data in Excel, the input parameters and corresponding output parameters. Now I want to calculate the normalized value for all these output parameters. So for example, 8.4 is there. Basically what we try to do here is that we will convert the output parameters in between the range of 0 to 1. Okay, so we have 8.4. Let's see how to convert them, how to normalize it. Okay, so first what we are doing is that first to find the square of all these values. 8.5 square, 7.9 square, 8.516 square. Those values are written in this J column. You can see here. Okay, then we have to identify the sum. We have to calculate the sum of all these square terms. That is put in this shell and then find the square root. Okay, next if you want to find the normalized value for 8.4, what we have to do now, we have to just divide this 8.4 by this 25.14. that is what we have put here. You can see here in this cell in the kth column, first second cell, you can see 0.33 we have calculated. You can see here it is written d2 by j12. So d2 is nothing but 8.4, j12 j12 is nothing but this value 25.014. if you do the division, we will get the normalized value. Likewise we have to do for all the 9 values of beat width. Okay, so next it will be 7.9 divided by 25.014. Next 8.5 divided by 25. So likewise we have to do for all the 9 bit values. Okay. Similarly, we have to do the same step for all the 5 output parameters which they have considered in their work. So let me show you for depth of penetration alone. So depth of penetration is 5.8, 6.0. These 9 values are there. Similar to bit width, we have to identify the normalized value for depth of penetration also. So just find the square of 5.8. It is 333. Then 6.6, 37. So we have calculated the square of all the terms. Okay, we have calculated the square of all the terms and find the summation and then square root. Okay, next we are going to find the normalized value for a depth of penetration. How we have to do? Just divide this 5.8 by 19.3. That will give us 0.3. You can see here E2 divided by L12, that is what it is mentioned. E2 is nothing but 5.8 divided by L12. L12 is nothing but 19.3. Okay. So likewise for second one, 6.097 divided by 19.3. That will give this 0.31 value. You can see here E3 divided by L12. E3 is nothing but 7.182 and L12 is nothing but 19.3. Okay, so just divide the corresponding terms with the square root of that value, this column. This is the procedure to calculate. Similarly for impact strength, what they have done is that you can see here it is 1000, square them. Likewise do the square for all the 9 values, do the summation, find the square root. Okay, then divide this 1000 by this 3413, you will get this 0.29. Okay, likewise you have to do for all the 9 values. Similar step for tensile strength and the strain. Okay, find the square for all the output parameters, summation of that square terms, then square root of that. Simple. Okay, next we will try to calculate weighted normalized matrix. That is the second step. Okay, so you can see here we have found out normalized decision matrix and those values are tabulated here. Okay, those values are tabulated here. This is the normalized value. Let's see how to put the weighted normalized value. So in this work they have considered 5 output parameters and they have assumed equal weights for all the output parameters. It depends upon the required objective. If you want to consider equal weightage for all output parameters, that is well and good. But if you want to give more importance to a particular parameter, that is also possible. So in this case, they have considered equal weights for all output parameters. Hence, they have divided 1 by 5, it will be 0.2. So we have to just multiply the normalized value with the 0.2 and we have to get the weighted normalized matrix. So this is what they have done. You can see here. So weighted normalized matrix is nothing but 0.2 into K2. You can here see K2. K2 is nothing but this value. Likewise K3 into 0.2. So just multiply all the values by 0.2 as we are giving equal weightage for all the output parameters. Okay, similarly you can calculate for the depth of penetration. You can see here this one is nothing but 0.2 into this M2. Okay, similarly this one is nothing but O2 into 0.2. Okay, so the value at the O2 cell multiplied by 0.2 will give you the weighted normalized matrix. So this is how we have to calculate the weighted normalized matrix for all the output parameters. You can see the normalized and weighted normalized values calculated using the above steps is put it in this table for bit width, normalized matrix, weighted normalized matrix. Likewise for all the output parameters it is tabulated here. So next step is we have to identify the positive ideal and negative ideal solution. Let's see how to do that with respect to this Topsies. So you can see here in the weighted normalized cells, you can see here at the bottom we have written B plus, B minus. So V plus is positive ideal solution, V minus is negative ideal solution. So basically positive ideal solution is the one which is advantageous for us. Negative ideal solution is the disadvantageous. This is the one which is disadvantageous to us. Okay. So in case of beat width, our intention is to minimize the beat width. Okay. So the advantageous factor will be the one which is having the least beat width value. Okay. If you see these 9 values, among the 9 values which is having least value, that will be taken as V plus. You can see here among the 9 values the least value is 0.0569, so that is taken as V plus, positive ideal solution. Whereas with respect to beat width, that if it is more, it is disadvantageous. So the value which is the beat width among the 9 values which is having highest value, that should be taken as V minus. You can see here among the 9 values 0.74 is the highest value, so that is taken as V minus. Okay, so this is with respect to beat width. Okay, beat width, our intention is to minimize, so V plus should be the one which is having the least value and V minus should be the one which is having the highest value. Okay, now let's come to depth of penetration. In the beginning itself, it was mentioned that their intention is to maximize the depth of penetration. So what we have to do now, among these 9 values, the one which is having highest value should be taken as V plus. You can see here among the 9 values 0.074 is the highest one, so that is taken here. Likewise, among these 9 values, which is the least one, 0.059, that is taken as V minus. Okay, so exactly opposite to the beat width. Okay, so here you should not get confused. Again, I'll show you with an example of impact strength value. So here impact strength I wanted to be maximized. So among the 9 values, we have to take the one which is having the highest value for V plus. So you can see here 0.105, that is the highest value, so it is taken as V plus, and V minus is the one which is having the least value. So least value among this 9 is 0.04. Likewise for tensile strength and strain. So both tensile strength and strain, we have to maximize it. So V plus value will be the one which is having the highest value, and V minus one will be the one which is having the least value among the 9 values. Okay. You can see that the positive and negative ideal solution for all the output responses are tabulated in this tabular column. So once we find that positive and negative ideal solution, we have to calculate separation measures. So this is how we have to calculate separation measure. I will try to explain that with the help of Excel sheet. Okay, how we are calculating the separation measure. You can see here. This is how we have to proceed. Okay, first we have to calculate this value. How we have to calculate this? We have two things, S plus and S minus. Let's see how to calculate S plus. So you just carefully see this cell, see this one. Okay, so it is calculated just by subtracting this 0.06 minus 0.05 as it is V plus. Okay, whole square plus V2 minus V11. V2 is nothing but this one, corresponding value, minus V plus for the depth of penetration, whole square, then plus W2 minus, this is the impact strength value, minus V plus. V plus will be this one, 0.105. Okay, again you have to square that, plus x2 minus x11. X2 is nothing but this one, minus V plus square, then y2 minus y11. Y2 minus y11. Y2 is nothing but this value minus this value square. Okay, that is obtained here. Then you just find the square root for this value. That will be the separation S plus for this first value. Similarly, we have to calculate S minus for the first one. How to calculate S minus? Now, same procedure. Only thing is that we have to subtract the corresponding value from the V minus. Okay, you can see here U2 minus U12 square, then plus V2 minus V12 whole square, plus this W2 minus 0.04 whole square. Likewise 0.06, this x2 minus x12 whole square plus y2 minus y12 whole square. That is what we find it as s minus. Okay, that value will become as 0.0016. Then take the square root, that will be 0.034. Likewise, we have to do it for all the 9 values. Okay, so that if you find that, we'll get s plus and s minus. That is how we have to calculate the separation measure. Okay, once we calculate the separation measure, the next step you can see here, the separation measure for all the output parameters are tabulated here. You can see here s plus and s minus. S plus, it is calculated with the help of v plus. V plus is nothing but the positive ideal solution. S minus is nothing but the negative ideal. S minus is calculated with the help of negative ideal solution, which is nothing but v minus as per the Excel sheet we have seen. Okay, next we have to calculate the relative closeness value. So relative closeness value is nothing but s minus divided by s plus and s minus. So we have to just divide s minus value 0.034 divided by 0.11 plus 0.034. That if you do so, you will get this relative closeness value. Okay, you can see here. So this one you can see AE2. AE2 is nothing but s minus value divided by AB2 plus AE2. So summation of s plus and s minus, that will give you the relative closeness value. So you can do the same procedure for all the 9 values. Okay, so that is how we have to find. Then from these 9 values, which one is having the highest value? So that will be the best parameter combination. Okay, so you can see here, fourth experimental run is having 0.9. So that is the best parameter combination as per their requirement. So this is what they are finding from their result. You can see here. So among the 9 values, you can see that fourth one is having the highest value. So the fourth parameter combination can be considered as the most that is best parameter combination. So what they are basically doing is that they are having five objectives, and they are converting that 5 objective into a single objective function with the help of Topsys method. Okay, see, suppose if we are having only one objective, suppose if we are having just only tensile strength, what we can do is that we can just conduct all the 9 experiments and find which the experiment is having the highest value of tensile strength. We can easily directly say. But in this case, we have 5 outputs, and each outputs are a different category. For example, BDV is having minimization criteria, others are having maximization criteria. So it is not possible for us to directly tell from the table which one is the best parameter combination. So what basically we are doing is that we are converting these 5 objective function value 5 values into a single value with the help of separation measure with the help of relative closeness value, and one which is having the highest relative closeness value is considered as the optimized parameter. Okay, so this is how we have to identify the optimized parameter for a multi-objective problem with the help of Topsys. Okay, so this is how we have to proceed. We can just use this Excel sheet for completing this step. It is very simple. Okay, first put the decision matrix. Let me summarize it. Second one, we have to calculate the normalized matrix, then weighted normalized matrix. Followed by that, we have to identify the positive ideal solution, negative ideal solution. With the help of positive ideal solution, negative solution, we have to calculate the separation measure s plus and s minus. Then with s plus and s minus, we have to calculate the relative closeness value. Among the 9 experiments, which one is having the highest relative closeness value? That is considered as the optimized parameter combination. Okay, so this is how we have to apply Topsys. Thank you.